The amount of people raiding in Season of Discovery is shocking.
For many people, just how big the M is in an MMO is incredibly important. Man, that was a stupid way of just saying how many people are playing, as in massive. How massive it... Oh, you get it. Well, we've actually got some numbers now, and I thought it'd be quite interesting just to dive in and actually have a look and see what those numbers mean. But if you're currently playing Wrath of the Lich King, you've probably already noticed quite a decline in the amount of active people. And I've actually heard from tons of people that this is the sole reason for their Wrath guilds falling apart. Season of Discovery. So if you've ever used Ironforge.pro before, they've actually updated now, so they've got a classic Season of Discovery section as well. Now, what this actually does is it shows you active characters according to raids uploaded to Warcraft logs and characters on PvP leaderboards. So it's important to understand this is not the amount of accounts there are or the amount of characters that have been created. There'll be people on Wrath of the Lich King and Season of Discovery that never step foot in PvP, maybe don't even step foot in raids. Or even if they do step foot in raids, they might not be being logged. So if it was a 25-man raid, those 25 people straight away wouldn't be counted into these numbers. On the other hand, if you've got someone who raids 5 times a week on Wrath of the Lich King on 5 different characters, they're going to be shown...
Dude, why is it like one faction dominant? So unbalanced. Vorpal, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it, man.
On here 5 times.
I guess they just don't want to PvP.
You do have to take it with a pinch of salt.
Oh, look at that. Who is that playing right there? They would not have a good time.
Little bit, but it does show you the state of play. The data reset 64 from the 20th of December to the 26th of December, there was around 201,000 people that was playing actively on Wrath of the Lich King servers. And again, when I say actively playing, that just means how many people were actively logging on Warcraft logs and how many people was appearing on the PvP leaderboards. Now let's have a look at Season of Discovery. So Season of Discovery had 374,000. Not quite double, but a really, really big number. Now this was from the 27th of December to the 2nd of January. So this was actually after Christmas. So I would actually expect more people to be playing in this period than the period that we was looking at for Wrath, because this actually went all the way up to Boxing Day. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be minor between the two, but this does show a really, really clear picture.
How about Era?
Not only is faction balance actually really good across the board.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think what they did with the server, not allowing them to join at certain times, it was not a bad move.
This goes for PvE servers as well, which surprised me the most. We know PvP has got forced faction balance, but when you look at these PvE servers, yes, they are a little bit worse in terms of like looking at Wild Growth being 66-33, but there's still not a server where it's completely dominated as a PvE server by one faction like it is on most big servers when you look at Wrath. So that's actually quite good news. Now, when you're looking at these numbers and you're instantly like, oh my god, Wrath of the Lich King's dead. Look, Season of Discovery is like much, much busier and there's more people. I feel like it's quite self-evident.
It's only 100k more. I don't think that's that crazy.
As in, you just walk around the towns, the cities and everything, and it is just booming. There's people everywhere, whereas Wrath is a bit more of a graveyard. I don't want to say graveyard, but people are still logging on and raiding. Now, when we look at Season of Discovery, this little line here is incredibly important because it says characters raiding at least once from the 27th of December to the 2nd of January. Now, what this would actually say to me is it will only count one person. And what I mean by that is I looked here and was like, well, of course it's going to have double the amount of players raiding, bare minimum, not only because it's really good and people are enjoying it, but you can do twice as many raids a week because BFD is only on a 3-day reset. But because it says characters raiding at least once from the 27th to the 2nd, I feel like that actually will only count it once. So if you've done 2 lockouts in that time, it wouldn't actually say 2, it would just be 1. So it's actually looking at the amount of characters that have raided in that time by character name, but not physically the amount of times that they did raid. I hope that made sense. I could be interpreting that wrong, and it could actually genuinely be looking at someone, and if they happen to have been able to raid twice in that reset, then it is showing them twice. It's worded uniquely there because on Wrath, it doesn't actually say that at all. So I feel like that is so it's not completely skewed because you can raid twice every week. But like I said, it does paint a very clear picture. All of the servers are looking very healthy. Maybe not Penance and Lava Lash. They're looking a little bit dire, but now part of this will be because it's sucking a little...
Lava Lash. I wonder if people playing Solid Core there kind of bumped up the horde number. It was really bad before. Yeah, some of the server doesn't look too healthy. We love you, Eric. Love you too. Beginner right here. I want to learn PvP right now. Are there any paths I should be following on Twitch? For retail WoW? I'd probably say Vanguard. So I don't know if he still does Arena. For Classic, I don't know that many. I think Peaceblade plays Red. I play Red not too much now that I've been playing a lot of Alt. Seems like Lava Lash. People are hating Solid Core happening at Lava Lash. I don't know what the reason is for the hate though. I guess they moved away because they didn't want the streamers there. But at the same time, there was a lot of people messaging me saying, "Oh, thank you for joining the server. We love it. Blah blah blah." Yeah, I don't know.
A little bit dire, but now part of this will be because it's so accessible. You know, it's very easy to get to 25. It'll take you a few days if you're playing casually, and then you'll be able to jump into a raid almost instantly. So there'll be many people that are raiding on 4 or 5 characters, maybe even more, and doing that twice a week. Because, you know, let's face it, the raid takes, let's say, 30 minutes-ish, probably for your average pug. So if it was taking all of those characters into account and doubling it because of the amount of resets you can do in a week, I feel like that number would be a hell of a lot higher. And that's just from first-hand experience of what I'm seeing when I'm online and how busy everything is. And then obviously the sheer amount of layers there are on pretty much every server as well. Now, overall, I don't think this will come as any surprise, but if you want to go and check it out, as I say, the website's iamforge.pro, and you can have a look at these numbers yourself. I will be monitoring these as the weeks go on because I've been looking at the actual statistics. You get some nice graphs. Actually, I'll show you.
Twice.
When you actually click on any of these, it does expand into one of these charts. You can look at EU, you can look at US as individuals or all together. And you can see this massive steep drop-off that Wrath of the Lich King's had over the last several weeks. And I feel like the longer Season of Discovery runs and the quicker each phase comes out, this number could just keep declining. But when you only go back as far as the first week of November, when there was 411.
Isn't it like they're waiting for the new raid, or is that a cope to say?
1,000 people raiding, and then you look at this last week, it's halved, being only 200,000 now. I think there's more to think about than just, oh, it's Season of Discovery. Icecrown Citadel's been out for quite a while now. The buff's rolling out. I believe it goes up to 20% next week. I've not really been doing a great deal on Wrath myself.
Oh, it's already out.
In the comments, because I've not even checked. Because we've seen these massive drop-offs before. Looking back here, this
like
is probably during
week, right?
Alduar. You could see a weekly decline to the point where new content came out, which this would probably be TOGC around June. Probably sounds about right. And then it starts to pick up again. Icecrown Citadel's meant to be the best raid of Wrath of the Lich King, and it's currently at an all-time low, lower than TOGC ever got to. Now, part of the reason could be, again, because TOGC was extremely short, so people could do mass amounts of raids on 6 or 7 characters because it didn't take long. But yeah, it's still slightly concerning when you're then looking at 375,000 nearly at a really weird time as well, you know, being between Christmas and New Year. People will be on holiday, spending time with family, so you would expect the activity to be low. So,
WoW players spending time with family, max like a day or two, man. They hop back on WoW right away.
That number, again, if it is actual individual characters in that week that raided once, that's pretty crazy. That's about it. Just in case you ain't seen it, I thought I'd show you and have a look, and we'll maybe monitor this as we go on. When I do the weekly news roundup videos like the one I put out earlier on, quick plug, you might as well go and check that video out. I think I only put it on about 2 hours ago. I'll make sure I include this as well so we can see how the servers progress over time. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks.